Little Minds Big Talks, where little kids have big conversations. I'm Azara.
And I'm Lou, and we have a very special guest joining us today. And we are so excited to continue our conversation on mental health.
Remember, mental health is all about our emotions and how we are feeling.
Yes, and we all need help with our emotions sometimes, and some of us need more help than others, and that's okay.
That's right. Last week we learned about what mental health is and why it's so important to keep talking about it. So today we have a child clinic psychologist joining us.
Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. T.
Hi, it's so nice to be here.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and exactly what you do?
So my parents were refugees from the Vietnam War, and growing up we didn't really talk about what happened in my family's history and how they came to America. And when my dad died when I was younger, I didn't really know how to talk about those feelings until I was a grown-up. And I realized how much that impacted my mental health and how I understood myself as a person. Now I'm a parent and I work with little kids and I help them talk about their feelings and when things are scary, which is what we call trauma. I think it's really important to represent diversity in the mental health field too, so that kids and grown-ups have people to talk to that look like them and speak their language and understand their culture and family history.
That's very interesting. And can you explain what mental health is for our listeners?
Yeah, that is a great question, and you all explained it so well in your last episode. So like you said, mental health has to do a lot with our thoughts and our feelings. So there are a lot of feelings and experiences that you might have. You might feel happy, you might feel sad or worried or angry or shameful. So those are a few things, and they're not all good or bad feelings. If you've seen the movie Inside Out, you can see that feelings can help you feel joy, and they can also help you prepare for things and stay safe.
How do you help kids with their feelings and emotions?
Well, there are a lot of different ways that we could share about what's going on that doesn't always use words. So sometimes I go to school and I help kids kind of control their big feelings if they have it in the classroom or if they're having it on the playground. Sometimes we work in a private space or at a park. We play, we draw, we color, we dance. I use a dollhouse, action figures, puppets. We play card games and board games if you guys like Uno or Monopoly. Those are some favorites. And then sometimes we just take a walk and get a snack.
Why is it so important that we talk about mental health and emotions?
Oh, I love this question. So imagine you're a little tea kettle, and the more that happens to you, the hotter you get. And if there's no way to let out that steam, you might feel like you're going to explode, right? And then if you explode, that water's going to splatter. It might hurt you. It might hurt other people around you. So if you have someone to talk to about your feelings, you can let out little bursts of steam, and then it doesn't feel so bad. And, sometimes when we have really hard things happening to us, it feels like a heavy block, right? So if you have a block, it's hard to carry, but if you have somebody else that's there that can help support you, they can help push it up, they can help you carry it, and it won't be so hard to do it on your own.
Yeah, when I'm having trouble, I ask my mom for help because I can trust her. And sometimes if I'm feeling a little bit upset or mad, I read a book because I love doing that. It helps to calm me down.
That's great. Those are some great tools.
Whenever I'm upset, I usually play a video game or talk to my parents. And the video game that's relaxing is like Minecraft. It's very nice, and I really like the music. It's very peaceful.
Yeah, there's different ways we need help, right? Sometimes we want to be alone and we want to do something just on our own. Sometimes we want to reach out to others and get a hug from, one of our parents or our pets or something like that.
How can we talk to our friends and family if we're feeling upset?
Well, sometimes that could vary depending on the person's culture. Some cultures are very open about it, and kids feel pretty comfortable to ask for help, but some cultures, kind of like mine when I grew up, you're expected to just keep it in your family and not really talk about. So, it might take talking to a friend or a grown-up that you feel safe with, and maybe sometimes it just means that other person has to notice that something's going on and come and check in on you. And the most important thing is to make sure that you feel safe to share, and for the other person that's helping to be really patient, supportive, and not feel like they have to fix it, because sometimes you just want someone to sit with you, right? You don't need someone to tell you what to do to make it better. You just want to kind of go through your process and work through it that way.
I don't really know about what we do in the Philippines because I've never been there before, but I think that it's okay to talk to people.
Yeah, my parents are they're really supportive, and I really love them. And it's okay to talk about things in our house, so yeah.
That's great. Do you have siblings?
Yes, I have an older brother. He's 12.
And does your brother support you if you feel sad?
I wouldn't say that. We kind of fight sometimes, but most of the time we do get along.
That's good.
I have a brother too, and he's most of the time supportive. My mom's very supportive. My dad, he's very supportive. My little sister, she's supportive, and she's very funny at the same time. And my cat, she's a cat, so I really don't understand what she does, but she's a cat, and that's great.
Do you have any tips for staying calm when something is making us stressed or anxious?
Yeah, there are so many great tools out there to use now. There's mindfulness apps that you can play relaxing music. It can help you with breathing and counting. There are special chairs that you can sit on to help you get your wiggles out. You can wear headphones or earbuds to drown out loud noises. And I also find that hugs do wonders when helping someone need to calm down.
That might help me because as I heard that my cat is a senior, and since my cat just turned 15 this Thanksgiving, and she's very nice, and I've lived with her since I was less than 1 year old, and since my mom told me she's a senior and she's very old, I'm scared that at any moment she might die.
Yeah. So you want to give her all the love that you can?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I bet she appreciates that too.
Are there any activities or games that can help kids relax when they're feeling upset?
Yeah, kids love to play, and that is a very fun part of my job, is that I get to play with kids all day long. And we use our imagination and we move around, and that's a great way to get, your feelings and your wiggles out. It helps you reset your body. And sometimes, if we don't have the energy to run around, we'll read books together, which it sounds like you like to do, Zara. And we draw, we color, we play card games, and we play board games.
I like to play Operation.
Oh, fun.
I usually like to play Uno with my family. Usually, it's not like a family fun game where we're all just giggling and happy. It's kind of like war against each other. It's very fun.
Well, what should we do if we notice a friend who is having big emotions?
That is such a good question. Sometimes when we see somebody who's down, we want to check in on them, and that's always a good thing. Whether that's heading over and just sitting with them, lending an ear if they need someone to talk to, or offering a hug if they need one. And if the problem is too big for you and your friend to solve on your own, or if someone's in danger, like they might hurt themselves or somebody else because they're so sad or upset, it's a really good idea to get the help of a grown-up.
If I saw my friend that was sad, and I would probably go up to them and ask them what happened, and ask them of what made them that sad, and then probably find different ways to help them, and then do those ways so they're happy again.
If I have a friend who's feeling sad, I'll try to make them laugh, and I'll tell them if I can relate to the feeling they're having, I can tell them the story of what happened.
That's really great. It's great to show empathy.
What is something good about each emotion? Why is it good to feel anger or sad?
A lot of times we're taught that anger or sadness or worry are bad things, right? Or they're bad feelings that we shouldn't have, and that being happy is the only good emotion. But many times when we feel angry, it's because we're hurt, or we're disappointed, or we're sad because something upsetting happened, or we're worried because we're not sure what's going to happen. And all of those feelings actually help us be better about improving ourselves. So if we fail at something, we can learn from those mistakes. And if we're hurt or if we hurt someone, it's a chance to understand, maybe what that other person is going through. And by anticipating what's going to happen, we can plan for the future and make really thoughtful decisions that are also safe.
I agree. We have learned so much about mental health and our emotions.
But is there anything else we didn't talk about today that you want our listeners to know?
I just hope that this information's been helpful, and wanted to say that it can be really hard to find the courage to open up and talk about our feelings sometimes, and it can be confusing or scary to talk to people that we don't know. So if you or someone you know might be thinking of hurting themselves or someone else, you can always call 988 or 1-800-273-TALK, or you can text the word HOME to 741-741, and someone is there to help you 24/7. So there's always someone around.
Thank you so much for sharing that information. Can you say those numbers one more time because they are so important?
Sure. The number is 988 or 1-800-273-TALK, TALK, or you can text HOME to 741-741.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come speak with us today.
Thank you. This has been so much fun.
You really helped us learn so much more about our emotions.
That's all for today's episode of Little Minds, Big Talks.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode as we talk more about our mental health. If you want to write into our show and ask us questions or get any advice, send an email to littlemindsbigtalks@gmail.com. And don't forget to learn about your own mental health and ask for help when you need it.
Yes, and next week we have guests coming from Kaiser. That's right, Kaiser! They will help us answer some questions from our listeners and wrap up this important topic of mental health. You won't want to miss it.
Thanks for listening, and remember, little hearts can make a big difference, so spread kindness, stay curious, and strive to make the world a better place, one conversation at a time. Bye-bye!